Hey, I'm Felissa Rose, and you're watching Keto and Crime.
Hey everyone, they've been charged. Yes, yes. Yesterday, May 25th, on what I believe would have been JJ's 9th birthday, Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow Daybell charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder in the deaths of JJ and 𝗙𝗂𝗏, and Chad additionally an additional count of first-degree murder referencing the death of his wife Tammy. Y'all, we got him.
We got him.
For those of you that have not been following this case, my community and I have been following it pretty much ever since it happened. But basically, we're talking about Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow. Lori has been married multiple times. I believe Chad is her 4th husband. 2 of her previous husbands had violent altercations with her brother, 𝗟𝑥𝗋𝗄𝐧, who is now deceased under kind of less than scrupulous, scenario. Both had deadly encounters with him. One of her husbands was beaten, and another was both. There were several fights, plus he was later shot by 𝗟𝑥𝗋𝗄𝐧, and that would be the father of JJ, Charles Vallow. Lori has always had an unscrupulous reputation with money. There was a lot of money shenanigans going on as far as life insurance with Charles Vallow. They believe he was killed for his life insurance, as well as he was just in the way of her affair with now 4th husband, Chad Daybell, and that she was hoping to get money. But unfortunately for her, he had left his entire life insurance to his sister, 𝗏𝗏 Cox, who is the biological grandmother of JJ. JJ is his great nephew, and he was kind enough to adopt him when his sister's children kind of dipped out on him. So yeah, she was expecting to get a big payout from that, and unfortunately it went to 𝗏 for the benefit of JJ, so she didn't get anything there. As far as other money, even after the children disappeared, the children were last seen in September of 2019 at Yellowstone National Park. She collected a lot of Social Security benefit money for both of them, both for 𝗙𝗏 in retribution of the death of her father, Joseph Ryan, who died of heart failure after the fact. He was not killed by her brother, though he was attacked by him. And then, of course, for JJ for disability. She returned JJ's service dog, emotional support animal, just before they were last seen. And then, of course, we all know what happened in spring of 2020. The bodies of both children were found buried and partially decapitated on the Daybell residence, Chad and Tammy Daybell's residence near Rexburg, Idaho. There were also some unscrupulous dealings with Lori's niece, Melanie Pawlowski, where she basically left her family and moved to Idaho to be with her aunt and uncle, because they were all kind of bought into this apocalyptic religious cult that Daybell had built a following on, and Vallow kind of swooped in to be his queen, so to speak. They were very highly ranked celebrities in the Avow Prepper, LDS Prepper network, as well as his books were all apocalyptic in nature, were bestsellers, and they were on several podcasts together. And so there was a small community of these cultists that believed that the end of the world was imminent. So they were highly celebritized there, and according to what we know, every time a person was to be removed, it seems that they had gone dark and were possessed and were zombies. That's how they referred to people that had been literally possessed by Satan. That was said about Charles Vallow before he was killed. It was also said about both 𝗤𝗨 and 𝗏𝗏 at different times before they disappeared, and we know that they were killed because their bodies were found. And supposedly he also said two different things about ex-wife Tammy Daybell. Said that she was had been charged to go into beyond the veil, into the afterlife, to do a special mission for God. And at one time she had been possessed by a demon by the name of Viola. So like Viola Davis. I wouldn't mind being possessed by Viola Davis. She's pretty cool.
And the Oscar goes to Viola Davis.
This is the first Oscar and third nomination for Viola Davis. She was previously nominated in this category for Doubt and for her leading role in The Help.
Anyway, so Charles Vallow's killed by Alex Cox. The children disappear. And then a month after that, in October of 2019, Tammy Daybell, after having been mysteriously shot at with what appeared to be a paintball gun outside their Rexburg, Idaho home back in September, she was found dead of supposedly natural causes on October 19th, 2019. Supposedly she was an avid runner, training for a marathon, but she died of natural causes. Daybell tried to cover it, in my opinion, by saying that she had heart problems and was very, very sick. No autopsy was done at the time of her burial, of course, because he wouldn't allow it. But then later, her remains were exhumed and tested. We still have not heard the results of those toxicology reports. But being that he is now charged with her murder, I would say something was found in those toxicology reports. I did a video about them where they were not even telling his children. They had 4 children together. He's not even telling his children what was in those toxicology reports. But evidently, it was big. And so, in addition to these crimes, also Alex Cox was implicated in a attempted shooting of Melanie Pawlowski's ex-husband, Brandon Boudreaux, outside his Arizona home. He says he saw a Jeep that resembled Charles Vallow's Jeep, which 𝗤𝗨 was driving, that had a male driver that resembled Alex. And he had been pinpointed by them as also going dark and being a demon. This timeline has got so many twists and turns. There's a lot of twists and turns in the Daybell universe, the Daybell Vallow universe, y'all. It's bigger than Marvel Cinematic ever was. So, but I have an entire playlist, including a complete and utter summary of the entire case, which I will link right up here. So, but what we can say is that Fremont County, Idaho grand jury returned 3 charges. 3 against Chad, 2 in JJ and 𝗤𝗨's death, 1 in Tammy's death, and 2 against Lori in the deaths of her children. I have also been informed that Lifetime Movie Network is making a movie about the Lori Vallow case called Apocalyptic Mom that will air in June. Of course, I'll be reviewing that. It can't be any worse than that movie they made about the Watts family, but I'm sure it'll be very Lifetime-y. As well as the trial will start this summer as well, and I will be bringing you daily updates on the trial as it goes along. And in celebration of these 2 monsters finally being indicted for murder, I am going to read and review the final 3 books from Chad Daybell, the 𝗚𝗏 series. These were actually his first series, but if you remember the last series that I reviewed, the Standing at Holy Places series, there was a character in those books called 𝗚𝗏. Well, 𝗚𝗏 has an origin story. And that's what we're going to delve into in these 3 last books. They're very short. I should be able to do it in 1 or 2 episodes, so it won't be a long and drawn out thing. So look for that this weekend. That will be our next videos. I'm going to put off some of the other videos I've been working on. I'm going to do that because I feel like, just since this is coming to a conclusion, I feel like we need to conclude it. So that's what we're going to do. As always, thoughts go out to the victims of these crimes. This is definitely a cult. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of stories about this cult. Its possible ties to Love Has Won. There's the Hawaii connection, the possible 𝗬𝗏𝗏 connection there. Just a lot going on here. But we can celebrate that on JJ's birthday, they went down. And hopefully some guilty verdicts will follow. I'm sure it's going to be a very long, drawn-out trial. But according to prosecutors, they are still deciding whether or not they will seek the death penalty. They have, I think, 60 days to make that decision, so they are going over that. So we don't know whether they will be potentially aiming for the death penalty or life in prison or life in prison without parole. There's 3 different ways they can go there. I don't believe these are overcharged. I think, if anything, they are undercharged, because I am pretty sure there are other charges they could glomp onto this. For example, they had originally only charged Daybell with tampering and hiding evidence. They could still glomp that on there. I'm sure there are charges of child abuse and child neglect that could be glomped onto this as well. If anything, this is undercharged. But I'm glad they got the big mamma jam, first-degree murder. And I'm looking forward to this trial getting started and justice for Tylee, JJ, and let's not forget Tammy, and I say Charles Vallow too, that justice will be rendered for them. We know that Alex shot Charles, but I'm sure it was on orders of his slinky sister. And I'm sure Alex was probably taken out too, though we have no proof because he's long been cremated, so there's nothing we can do there. But in any case, that's the news for today. I'll be back this weekend with the Chad Daybell Emma series, so we'll go into her origin stories. He also has a daughter named Emma, which that's all kinds of creepy. But anyway, with that being said, Keto and Crime out. We got him.